Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show. For those of you who have came in early, like Joe and Irene, thank you for your support. We really appreciate it for your early audience for our breakfast show. And today it's Wednesday. That's right. Trading ideas with SMARTRobie. Don't we have something for you in our show today? And definitely not to be disappointed. We have seen our KL market, the KLSE market has finally rise above the 1620. We shall see in our later chart when first time it came through our Pentagon guider last Wednesday when it first turned in. And those of you who have benefited from the SMARTRobie Pentagon guider charts, you have known this already turned up. And also not to forget, last night we have a big tech recovery. Let's go on to what we have for you this morning. And those of you who have just joined me again, welcome. And if you're first time listening, do type 1. And we hope this event will find you good and healthy. And maybe some of the ideas that we have will truly get you to the next level. Definitely in here, there were a couple of inquiry. And those of you who have joined me as earlier on, and if you have reviewed our SMARTRobie mobile apps in Google Play Store or in Facebook or Apple Play Store, you will first get the first priority for our shared review towards the end of the show today. Now let's get on to what we have for you this morning. That's right. Now this morning, and it's definitely, let me just get on to my, to our morning slide, which is the Trade VSA. That's right. Now this morning in here is Wednesday. In here we will be talking more about the what we call intermediate level. That's right. Intermediate level, we generally look at the trending stocks. We have a couple things we also want to touch on, which is also the news, right? And the news is turning positively. I think once we crack through that 1620 and above, it's going to be good. Let's look at where the market is this morning here. And it's a bit of excitement right now because we are talking about a lot of recovery. Right now, it's already 1637 and that market is moving it fast. And more people will be realizing that this market is recovering due to the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, and more people will intend to join us this morning in here. And there's a lot of good trade idea. Make sure you check out the Pentagon guider as well as the trending stocks, which you will see on the top side of me here, right? Or you can just check out the premium alert, whichever you want. But today we will be looking at the trending stocks in here. That's right. Now let's start with what we have for you. Let's switch to a wider chart in here. And of course, we want to get down to our headlines, and our headline is definitely rounding up very positively for us. But before that, and I want to show you this one, which is the main theme why we do this. You can see as early as last Wednesday, we can see finally the green pentagon on the left hand side there. Sorry, on the left hand side of the screen, you see the green pentagon finally turned very early at 1580, and the market continued to climb through. And this morning, breaking above the 1620 and take out of what we call the uptrust. You can see the UT, right? And every time when what we have the takeout of the UT, which means the current value, which is 1637, take out the UT, which is, I think it's about maybe 1620. That means more bullish days to come. Of course, some of you who have not followed us, and you are generally the first time, so you may take it with a little bit of skepticism, but that's fine. But those of you who's been following, and many of you are our masterclass member, would have seen that this is definitely an opportunity for you to buy now. I think very important at the end of the day, we want to go back to the agenda. Being trained trader or trader, you have to ask yourself, look back to your investment that you have over the last 2020, 2019. How well have you fared? Have you been making consistent money in there or been consistent losing? I think that's very important too. We just don't want to have one or two trades that's making money, but the rest we are losing. And that's really part of our agenda here, is to give you the information and necessary tools to get you to be informed, educated trader and educated investor. That's right. All right. Now let's look at what we have for you in our roundup of our news. That's right. Now this morning on the Starbiz, definitely we can see the tech stocks are still intact, and this came in long-term prospect stocks are bright, and take it as a buying opportunity with only buy stocks with good earning prospect, which means there are some of the tech stocks hasn't done well, so you just have to see. But also very important in here, in Trade VSA and also in SMARTRobie, we want you to look at the Pentagon. That's right, you can see above me inside, when you have that Pentagon blue trend zone, then you will see this stock coming out. Now, if many of you may have known, one of the barometers, if you look at Inari right now, which is a tech stocks, hit in Inari in here, and let's look at the stocks in here, you will definitely see it is likely to be in the orange trend zone. So when do you want to go in? You just have to wait for the green Pentagon, and you can see that we have broken through the ATR stop loss, which is around 330 ringgit, just above me up there. So definitely, even before this news inside here, there is a lot of analysts saying that, look, despite what we have this sell-off in here, it might looks like a correction, and I think it is indeed, which I will talk about it on the US market. Let's move on to our next headline. That's right. So our next headline is on the, again, KESM, test and burn in manufacturers, which usually takes a lot of the product from Intel Malaysia, way up in Penang. Those of you who is listening from Penang, give me a shout out there and just type it in there if you're from Penang. And we would see many of this so-called related to technology sector continue to do well in here. Now, this was a reporting of a triple joy for KSM, but we do have the chip shortage due to the automotive. Now, automotive have a lot of chip shortage. You have seen some of the big car maker like Ford, Toyota has hopped some of their production in here because there is a surge for chips due to the COVID-19, when more people are buying handphones, laptops. So there's been a surge, and also the US-China trade war that they had in the past 2 years that has focused many of the chip making in Taiwan. That's why TSMC, check out that stocks, which has continued to had a sell-off recently due to the technology, just like what we've seen with Inari in here, but we do see in here. Now, the KSM say that, look, at the end of the day, the semiconductor seems to be the one of the world largest business in there, and going forward, I think many of you would also agree with me, technology is definitely here to stay. Even with the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, many people will continue to work from home or work remotely, and that will continue to surge many of this. So what is really happening now is the recovery sector that we see in many of the others in the economy, like travel, leisure, and also consumer, right? When people start drinking more beers, isn't it? That's why you also see Carlsberg and Heineken's are moving up higher. So those are likely the trend that we see so far in here. Now let's go on to our next news that we have here, and it's no other than, again, on the recovery property. That's right, property are better prospect in here with a lot of liquidity and also low interest rate. As I was saying before, the interest rate, we did see a surge in the 10-year yield bond, but that is going to be temporarily, and I'm going to explain it later on. But what we have seen in here, the uptake of new property launch is back, because again, going back to economy recovery in here, there are some good property in there. Check out using the sector analysis and look for those which is actually green Pentagon, and that's one of the best way to use SMARTRobie for. All right, now let's move on to our next news. Sintex. Now, Sintex has been pretty much caught in a sideways market, as I said before. This is due to the so-called, it is no what we call one of those COVID earlier stock mover, because it does Sintex property. That's right, it does property in big part of Johor, and also do packaging in here. But having said that, the I think this morning, based on this news, let's look at it. Morning, yes, it's only up 0.5%. Now you look at the chart here on top of me, it's pretty much has been moving sideways. Those of you who have just tied up Sintex, you can see this holding up about $4 in here. But I do think with the property news that we just saw in here, and Sintex being about 40% or 50% of its revenue coming from property, this will in itself give that a lot of what we got, that to move up higher in there, because likely not, there are two parts of the business, the plastic packaging in here and also the property. All right, let's move on to our next news. All right, now our next news is Oil and gas. We all know oil hitting 70 US or more than 70 US dollar WTI in here, and we can see many of those energy players like Hibiscus, Dayang, Dialog, Sapura Energy. Those are moving up. But one of the best in terms of SMARTRobie ratings, right, is Server Dynamic that plays a good dividend in here. Being a global integrated engineering services, especially more in that, and also going to ICT, I think eventually Server Dynamic will be a good play for being well diversified. But let's look at the chart. What we have this morning in here, you can see Server Dynamic hit that one. And I'll switch to a bigger chart here. And let's look at the bigger chart in here. You can see Server Dynamic, since the oil recovery, it has a green pentagon and it did stay above the ATR stop loss. That's the one you can see on the horizontal red line, which means if anytime when the market closed below that, that's what you want to exit. And we did see those happening on the tech stock. So what does it mean? It does mean that many of you may have already aware of the technology sector has been sort of rotated out to other sectors, which is the economic recovery right now. So we are seeing oil and gas is moving up, and Server Dynamics, definitely this 408.8 million contract will add a little bit more candy, a little bit more sugar to the whole. Let's look at the stock chart today, this morning. Where is it? Yes, it's up 2.7%. Of course, those of you who are interested to get in to Server Dynamic, just type in trading plans, and that's pretty simple in there. Trading plans, you can see. Have you thought of trade Server Dynamic only if it surpass 185, and right now it's 1888. Haha, there you go. What do you think? Do you think it's worthwhile to take a shot into Server Dynamic? All right, so we will come back, and again, some of you want me to review it. I'll be fair. I'll be happy now. Also, CPO prices continue to hit new high, touching almost 3,009. I think 4,000 down. But there's a lot of question, and also myself been asking. If you look at the CPO prices, let's look at Taan. Okay, Taan. All right, and let's look at the stock chart. The Plantation sectors, to be frank with you, hasn't really moved in tandem with the CPO prices. You can see here, look at that one. Switch to a wider chart in here. CPO prices going up like rocket ship. But you can see Taan going down. Now, there's a lot of talk about workers. Even this morning on the news headline, they are looking for online. That's right, palm oil workers. Basically, with the COVID-19 that we've seen, many of the workers has been sent back, and the big concern right now is there is a shortage of labor to do the harvesting of the palm oil. So what does that mean? It means many of those palm oil that don't get harvest, it's going to spoil, the yield is going to drop down, and I believe this is what is been reflected in many of the CPO counter like Taan in here. Is that true or not? What do you all think? Some of our audience who are looking at it. So let me see. What do you think of it, right? If not, usually we will see a big movement together what we see in the CPO prices and also some of the plantation. Let's look at THR, TSH. Okay, TSH, again, another plantation player. And let's look at the stock chart. Again, you can see also stuck there. But I do think based on the rotational play, eventually some of these will probably set back and make this kind of stocks will eventually move. That has to come from some sort of catalyst from the government saying that there are certain things you can do, and then we will see some of these stocks move. But having said that, a lot of the plantation stocks are already in a blue trend zone, already in this case you can see THS. It's just that matter if you can take out the old high here at 132. 119, 118 in this case of THS, then we'll see this stock likely to move higher. All right, let's move on to the next headline. Now, next headline is definitely on TopGlove, which continue to hog the headline. I think many of you also have TopGlove and was talking about whether TopGlove is worthwhile to buy. Right now, TopGlove is seen to be a very value stocks inside here, and no doubt what they have said yesterday on the stronger performance online media briefing yesterday. They say this like from the TopGlove senior management say, look, ASP prices will gradually come down, and they are hitting a record for the first time, 24 times year-on-year growth, hitting just quarterly net revenue Okay, is this net revenue went up to 5.37 billion. 5 billion. So you're talking about 5 billion. You're talking about almost $20 billion. That's very, very significant from it. So a lot of people are kind of figure out, look, TopGlove is doing well. But going forward, the future may not. So this could be a one-time effort. And there's also talk about surpluses. What happens is there are a lot of this called second tier rubber glove maker coming in, like Hector, like Marseng, like Enix. Okay, how are they going to contribute to the maybe overgrown sector? So a lot of the time, these glove stops already priced in here, but yet to be seen. You can see definitely in here right now, the current prices has been reflected on the stock price, but the future is not in here. Is the market wrong to say that TopGlove should be higher? We'll yet to know. What do you think of it? Do you think that TopGlove eventually will go higher of this one? But definitely right now, I do feel in order for many of the rubber glove to go higher, we still need to have an inflow of foreign funds. If you look at the foreign funds from our Trade VHA dashboard, which tonight I will talk about it at 9:30, many times we have seen foreign funds continue to leave the shore. So that's why we are in this issue in here, all right? Okay, good. Some of you already given me the stock. So if those of you who have given me the review on the Google Play Store, you will get the first priority. As I said before, if you want to get the first priority, definitely go over to Google Play Store and give us a review on SMARTRobie. All right, let's move on to next. Is the US market. Now, last night we have seen the US Dow Jones really, recovering, get another 30 points, very close to the high, but it has a support around 31,000 or short of 31,000. But we did have the big tech recovery after selling off more than 10%, and this is also in tandem with the drop in the 10-year Treasury yield, now back to around 1.5. Now there's a lot of been said that maybe this interest rate can go up to 2%, but also do take note, a higher interest rate that will prompt which almost 16 or 17 trillions of US debts, which is actually owned by foreign entity like Japan and China, which are it. So every time when interest rate goes up, especially the 10-year Treasury yield, that means they have to pay out more. So it's not in the best interest for the US FOMC to continue to have a high interest rate. So what is going to mean? It means it's going to go through an asset bond purchasing program eventually when get too high. So when you buy those bonds, bond prices go up, interest rate come down, because bonds and interest rate prices are inverse relationship. Make sure you know about that one too. So that is what we have seen so far. The tech is continued required, and more tonight on the US market. That's right. Now let's move on to some news that we have for you here, and let's go back to in here and the KLCI news. All right. KLCI news, yes, I think I heard the boom. Yes, it's coming up. Let's do it one more time, the KLCI news. There you go. So here you can get the KLCI news inside. Very positive. Bursa continue uptrend momentum to open higher. We know about that one. Then what is on the news? TopGlove, very positive. Pentagon still red. AirAsia, negative news, but Pentagon is green. All right, so those are interesting. And also Bursa and Server Dynamics, those what we have talked about. So if you are very, very busy, not able to read the newspaper, just go through the Bursa news headline, and we will look back right back to the 8th of March. And any of those that will caught the attention, those of you who want to trade purely on news, that's the one you want to use. All right, so that's an idea for you to use to know what's going on in the market. Now let's move on to what we have for you here. Next is also the highlight of all our intermediate trade idea from Pentagon trading idea. Now we can see right back, way back to 23rd of December, many of this, number 1, number 2, UWC, KGB, 56% revenue, 48, Great Tech 25. A lot of these are tech stocks. Now we all know tech stock has made a big move from December, January, and somewhere up to mid-February. But right now there is a rotational play, and we are seeing correction now in technology, because the correction is already happening in the US market. It's just coming to Malaysia right now, but we are seeing recovery. So if you look at recovery item number 10, you can see Takaful, which we picked up last week, started to move up. DNO, Penta, Inari, Frontcan, all these are likely to go through under correction, but not hitting around 29%, 25%, 48%. So which means when you buy some of these shares, those of you who are longer, shorter terms, you want to have an exit strategy, right? And if you just want to buy and hold, to me, without an exit strategy, to me, I think that is a bit silly. Now, those of you who have known, you can follow me on Monday when I talk about the trading plan. I actually construct a trading plan. You can follow me using SMARTRobie idea. For example, you can look at Inari, there's TP1 and TP2, target profit 1 and 2, and you can use those as an idea, and also a holding period, how long you want to use those ideas that is profoundly available on SMARTRobie. Now, let's move on to the lesson learned from our past trade. Definitely, let's look at the first one, Takaful. Again, a stock recovery in here, and let's look at Takaful. Okay. Okay, let me switch to a daily chart because it was running on the 7-minute chart. Now, last week when we first talked about it, it was at the, let me just bring this up here. Let me just make it a bit smaller so you can see this. You can see this was on the 3rd of March. So 3rd of March around 10 o'clock, it's around this area. So it's gone up 8%. This thing's move up right now. A lot of the financials is moving up, and you can see this is, but if you have followed the green pentagon right here, going in, just after the opening, you would be already almost 16%. So it actually pays dividend to follow green pentagon in there. I hope some of you do realize that, and that will be definitely great in here. All right. Okay, just checking up some of you who have gone in and give me the priority. I want to first check on the priority user first, those who get the okay, so you can see this one is a very nicely done, so no problem, continue. Now let's look at the one that went through a correction called Uchitech. Okay, now Uchitech, for all in this case, we know that was a correction, and if you look back when we first talk about it, was 3rd of March, we were almost at the top in here, right? At the top, you can see 3rd of March in here, 3rd of March, somewhere around here. That's right. And then immediately we have a major correction on the US market, and also corrected right now. You can see this was a red pentagon. The market sell down, but right now we can see US has an impact. The market is starting to recover. So it does look like this itself has already turned green pentagon in here. And those of you need to exit a little bit, then do exit, follow it. When there's a red pentagon, follow it. If you hit through ATR stop loss, you need to exit. The whole point is to have enough bullet. Now, if you have gone in, like what we say, following the green pentagon here to here, you will at least obtain 16%, or maybe some of you will take partial profit, can get along 28 or 29%, and that's, to me, it's very, very positive. And that's how you want to trade the shorter term, using a day after the green pentagon and exiting, possibly taking partial profit when you see the red pentagon in here. All right, that is some just idea that you could use going forward. So those are the lesson learned. Now, also take note, what I want to share with you is an hourly chart. If you use an hourly chart in here, you can see we had a major volume in here. You can see this was a big volume in here, a big push, and then the market coming down in here. And right now, the up movement, as you can see this up movement here, the volume are actually step down. When you see step down volume, market going up, not good. That means there is still some weakness. If you want to see more likelihood the market go, you want to see step up volume. Very, very important. All right, for that one. Okay. So I hope you got that one in here. Now let's look at what we have for you. That's right, for 10th of March. This Wednesday, our trade idea. That's right. Our immediate trade idea is definitely Sunway. Again, going back what we talk about, property and construction continue to have recovery due to the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. So those is likely to be rotating in. Money will flow in, and you can see this one was very nice, very classic. We have a long period accumulation. We have NS in here, then we have the line change in here. So this one is good. So this is what we have right now for you in here at around 10:39 a.m. as we speak of. So first one will be Sunway. Next one will be IJM. All right, and very similar. A lot of these are actually doing much better. So if you want to know how it is, you can see on my so-called left-hand side here, you have the Sunway, item number 8, 5211, and IJM 3336. That's right. So these are the two stock trade idea that is like what we have for you today. All right, let's go on to what I want to talk about next. Is definitely the agenda that we always talk about, is to get you guys to write some of the big trades for 2021. Now we've seen in 2021 we have some very big trades in here like Pi, and we really want to ensure that you get onto some of these trades. You may have missed it out in there, but it's important that you study some of the characteristics of this trade. How would you be able to pick up? Is it sector related? Is it market timing using Pentagon? And those are very important. And if you do it well, you put it together in a trading strategy, then what you get is item number 2, the Pentagon guided trading portfolio strategy, which we'll continue to talk about in here. Right now it's about 2020 on a portfolio of 35,000. We have 106% in here. And right now from Jan. All right, let's see whether we are back or not. All right, just want to do a sound check whether we are back now. Okay, I'm still streaming live here. Okay, we did have a cut off just now, so I hope we are back right now. Do type in if you can hear me. All right, do type if you can hear me. Yes, I am back already. Okay, great. So let's continue. So we are up to 7.6% in there, right? 7.6% in there. And also it's important that we want to know what sector works well. So one of the things that we do, and I want to share with you as part of our training here, sector analysis. All right, to know where you are, hit that sector analysis. So we're going to hit this here. And we can see right now, construction. Okay, let me switch to a wider chart for you so you can see we have construction, energy, telemedia, and consumer. You can see on the far right hand side, we have not doing so well is property, plantation, technology, and healthcare. That's right. So this is the problem that we see. So let's look at construction right now. I want to type construction here. All right. And you can see what are the stock listed by what we call the heavy duty fellas. Okay. So you can see the heavy duty fellas are what they are. You can see here Echo West, WCT, IME, okay, WCEHB, Pintaras, MGM, Brand. Okay, let's look at Echo West for a start. Let's look at West, hit 8871. Those you want to explore, and you want to look at stock chart, whether it is showing. There you go. You can see right now, even Echo West, like Sunway and IJM, which actually turned green, they are moving up. And let's look at Echo West this morning in here. Okay, Echo West stock, live stock price. There you go, it's up 2%. So that is how you will know which sector is hot now. Learn to use the sector analysis, because that way you always stay ahead and stay in front of everybody else. Of course, sometimes we say, look, sector now is construction. Next sector coming in could be energy, all right? Because you don't want to buy the most hottest one. The hottest one are the likely one that will come down. So you don't want that. So you want to really stay on to a stock that eventually will move up. So it's like getting into a train about to move, all right? And you don't want to jump into a train that really runs. So that is one idea I want to share with you in here. Very important, using the sector analysis in here. Of course, earlier on, I want to talk about the no supply in here. You could see early the no supply was important. You can see one of the stocks which we talk about, I believe, is Sunway. Right, Sunway, which is a stock, and it has no supply. That's right. You can see no supply is one of the. This is NS no supply in here. You can see, and every time you can see no supply and the market eventually rise up, that is a very strong thing. And this is part and parcel of what we want to share with you in the sign of strength line chain. Pay attention to no supply bar. So make sure you know this in heart. And again, we have our NS screener in here. Make sure you check it out from our trade VSA package. That's right. Now let's move on to what we have. So next is definitely those of you who want to know more what is NS. If you are the first time, do check out our sign of weakness and sign of strength. This is a QR code for that one. All right, and don't forget, tonight we will talk about US market. That's right. And for our Muslim friends, that I will also cover Sharia investing in the US market. How you can find those shares, that is Sharia, a very simple way to do that. And make sure you join me tonight we're going to talk about also accounts opening in US. We're going to talk about Sharia investing. We're going to look at some of the top way to know which shares is trending in there. So make sure you follow me, and this is important because we want you to have a way to diversify out from the case. So make sure you join me on the US market tonight. All right. So also not to forget, this Saturday we have a special treat for you, backed by popular demand in here. Join us on a fundamental analysis for beginner. That's right, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Just a 2-hour workshop that we'll do. Very simple things we'll touch on, and things when you come for this fundamental analysis, you will eventually realize that many of the things that was already featured in SMARTRobie is very simple to understand. So it's part of our commitment to train you to use all the available tools in here. And on, you can see on this side, that's right, sorry, this side here is the QR code. That's right, the QR code for that one. And to join us totally free in there. There is no cost, definitely, for sure. All right. So let's look at what we have for you next. And don't forget the following week, that's right, next Saturday, we have our 1-day value growth investing course. And this time we're going to talk about Bitcoin. That's right. Now, last night Bitcoin hit 54,000 US dollar. How high is it going to go? Let's do some valuation on the 20th of March. So make sure you join me, those of you who are interested in growth investing and to get your hands into Bitcoin too. So that is from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's limited to first 500 in there. You can also register through here. You can see in here, that's the one you can register here on the apps. All right, let me switch to a wider chart here, and you can hit that one and you can purchase that you will see on the left hand side here. All right, that's the one. All right, so make sure you can purchase that. Is a full day course. So all the courses we have free, we have paid, and we also have our master class. That's right. So to get you into the great mood of performing well should the market continue to run high, which we think we do. All right. All right. Now let's move on to also on the 3rd of April, another free course again, technical analysis for TradingView for beginners. So we continue to do a lot of these free courses in here. And we wanted to promote, that is the QR code for those of you who want to know. We have fundamental this weekend, then the following month we have the technical analysis for beginners. So we'll talk about all the volume spread analysis set up in here to put you up in the right place at the right time. And also don't forget to share 400 credits with your friend. Now make sure once they get your referral code, they download and they use your referral code, then you will get 400 credits. So all you need is 2 friends. If you're 2 friends, then you can come for the value growth investing course with Bitcoin valuation, absolutely free. That's all. You need to recommend 2 friends and they can come for and you can come for free. And if they recommend, they will come for free. So this is one of the freebie things that we do. And of course, right now we'll be looking at some of your stock review in here. This is the QR code. And for those of you who want to get first priority for me to review your stock pick, so go over to the Facebook or to our Google Play Store or Apple Play Store and give us a review, good or bad, and we will continue to update. So right now I'm going to look at the stocks that you have. Of course, I'm going to look at these, some of you who have put in here. We have TDM, Yang Chin Sin. So I'm just going to ask Yang and Yuki who have hibiscus. If you are one of the earlier reviewer in the Google Play Store, I will do yours first. We have Abu. Yes, I remember Abu did give us a review on our stock review for our Facebook, so I will do his first. We have MMC. That's right. Let's look at MMC. Okay, MMC here. MMC Corporation. Okay, MMC Corporation in here. So right now this is a daily chart. Daily chart looks pretty good. You can see we have, let me just refresh this. All right, continue to go up. MMC, this is a record. So from the green pentagon, you can see this market have moved from 83 cents to 120. Continue to run your profit until you either let me see, let's go back to SMARTRobie. Let's do MMC, very easy one. MMC Corp, hit that one. And we'll hit exit strategy. Right, there will be target profit 137, okay, or green pentagon. Okay, take some partial profit, is above 117. So if you do take some partial profit. Okay, above we have also PL. Okay, MMC PL, is that another company? PL for Malaysian stocks. I don't, let me see, is there any company called PL? PL? Not that, I don't have anything inside here. So Abu Ismail, I think I covered that. And let's look at another one. Hongma, have you, I didn't come across your name on the Google Play Store for your review. So I'm going to go and look for one that has done so. All right. And let's look at over on this side here. We have also here. Okay. All right. We have some Google Play Store. Joe, there is no more stock review here. Okay. All right, so that's all we have for the stock review this morning in here. Mayfen, I'm not sure whether you have done the Google Play Store. If not, I'll just do one for you too, all right? Okay, Lee Mayfen, okay, Lee Mayfen, and Itronics. Okay, Itronics has moved up. It actually has a red pentagon. So right now the market seems to be holding up. And let's check out for Itronics. Okay, Itronics. Okay, Itronics hit that one. And okay, we got Itronics in here. Let's look at the exit strategy in here. So exit strategy is 38 cents. And it's already red pentagon, so be careful. It might likely to come down in here. So stop loss right now is about 38 cents, somewhere around here. Okay, keep in mind that this stock may move lower or higher, and there is a profit taking at 79 cents. So that is for Lee Mayfen in here. So we have Young. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do today. For those of you who have put in your stock pick, I do hope you will go over to the Google Play Store and Apple Play Store to give us a review, good or bad. And next week, you'll get the first priority to do so. And during that time, I wish you all the best. And do join me tonight. That's right, tonight for the US market. And also those of you who have registered for April intake, that is the one where we'll do a full year coaching and mentoring with multiple re-attendance. As a matter of fact, I was thinking, you can attend almost 6 times a year for all our masterclass with different syllabus, and this time it's also talking about US market. That's right. So that's why we want to start introduce syllabus like US market and Bitcoin, so you can ride on to the next mega trend to benefit. I think that's also very important too for that one. So April intake, it's up. Do sign up. Registration is open in here. And also, those of you who are first time, do join our Telegram chat room for all the free stock information in here. And if not, I'll find you. See you tonight. That's right. Thank you for coming tonight, US market. Bye-bye.